Hello again and welcome back to my tropical garden. Now that's a statement I never thought I'd say, but yeah, it's been so hot here for the past couple of months really. It started off quite wet, like very humid, but now it's gone really dry and we've got a hose pipe ban too. So my main challenge is just keeping things alive at the moment. Now, as always with different weather conditions, there are some plants that are hating it. So my leafy greens are a complete disaster this year and they normally do really well for me. But there are some plants that are absolutely loving it and they're allowing me to grow things that I don't usually have a lot of success with. So I'm going to show you them. Now I do have a bit of a treat lined up for you at the end of this video, which is that I'm finally going to try one of my kiwi berries. Now, if you haven't been following this, kiwi berries are a type of hardy kiwi that you can grow in many parts of the UK and in other similar growing conditions. And yeah, I haven't tried them yet. I've been waiting till they ripen. And one of the challenging things about growing an unusual fruit variety is that I actually have no idea what the right kiwi berries are going to be. I've never bought them in the supermarket. I've never even seen another kiwi berry plant, so I just don't know. I've just gone on what I've read on the internet about when they're ripe, and I've got 3 kiwi berries, so I thought, well, I'll try one today and see if it's ready or not. Because yeah, it's just really hard to judge. But yeah, do stick around for that if you're interested in the whole kiwi berry saga, and maybe you're thinking about growing one yourself. So while I'm sat here, I absolutely have to talk about this plant that's next to me. This is a tromboncino, which is a type of squash plant. And yeah, look at these leaves. Like, that's huge, right? And yeah, they do look really tropical. I think they're so beautiful. And I have to say, tromboncinos are absolutely delicious. So I can't wait for this plant to get flowering and producing fruit for me. I think I did see that I had some baby tromboncinos in another part of the garden, which I'll try and show you later. Now, while I have been struggling to keep everything alive during this warm summer period where there's been no rain, and it's been really challenging at times, I do just have to remind myself when I look at my lawn, which obviously I don't water, what the rest of my garden would look like if I didn't do anything. And let me just show you. Don't look at those kale. They've been absolutely destroyed by aphids this year. But yeah, they'll be okay. They'll be okay long term. But yeah, at the moment they're not doing very well. But yeah, look at this lawn. Yeah, so although my efforts, I feel like they haven't done very much, when I look at this lawn, I can see that, yeah, I'm definitely achieving something with the watering can. Yeah, Tilly's just decided to come into shot there. There we are. Now, next to my tromboncino here, I do have some radishes that I think are ready for harvesting. So let's see how they're doing. I planted these a few weeks ago in the pots which have my blackberry bushes in, just because I didn't want the bare soil. And how right was I about that, given what's happened with the lack of rain and everything. So anyway, I've planted them in there and they look to me like they're ready for harvesting now. Now, they should be a beautiful purple colour. They're the variety Viola. So let's see. I'm going to go for this one here because as you can see, it's gone really tall and it looks to me like it's thinking of flowering. So I reckon it's time to get it out. No, I think we can say it has got a lovely purple colour, but yeah, no, I don't think that's ready. I won't harvest the rest now for a few weeks. I thought it was going to be bigger than that because you can see it looked like it was going to start flowering. There we are. Anyway, always good to check. So I'll leave the rest now. Now, as you can see, my patio here is absolutely packed with these tomato plants. And they have already started to fruit and they're being incredibly productive for me. I mean, if you can see these over here, you should be able to see there's quite a few red fruit on there. Yeah, look at that. That's just on one plant. Quite a few tomatoes that are ready for harvesting. And it's the same story on here, if I can show you. There's quite a few here. Yeah, so these tomato plants are basically the unknown variety that just happened to germinate in my garden from an old tomato that I'd obviously thrown in the compost. But yeah, I've got absolutely no idea which one it is, and so I'll be saving some more seeds from these tomatoes so I can grow them again next year, because they really do very well for me. Now, while this patio is completely packed and I've only got a little bit of space really to walk down the garden, I have nonetheless managed to find a bit of space to put some water for any creatures that are desperate for moisture basically during this dry spell. And I've got a small cat bowl down here next to my Akoya. Oh, let me just show you. These are the Akoya, which are going to be the purple coloured tomatoes. I've got quite a lot on there, look, quite a lot. And more coming. Anyway, down here is the cat bowl. And I saw a hedgehog drink from this last night, a tiny hedgehog. So yeah, do think about providing some water sources in your garden just to keep the little creatures going during this dry spell. Now, you may never see anything use it, but that doesn't mean that it hasn't been found and it isn't being used when you're not watching, because let's be honest, most of our wildlife in the UK does not like to be watched by us people. There we are. So there's all my tomatoes. Now, I have something else to show you that I'm incredibly proud of. If you've been watching this channel since last autumn, you'll know that I was really fortunate that I had some pepper plants that just decided to germinate in my garden soil. And I happened to spot them and I brought them in over the winter time. And I had no idea if they were going to be productive or not. Growing peppers in the UK, particularly when you don't have a greenhouse, can be pretty hit and miss. Well, obviously the conditions this year with the summer have been perfect for pepper plants. And yeah, I'm amazed at the amount of fruit that I have on this one plant. So here then is my pepper plant, and I can't tell you how amazed I am at how well it's doing. There's so many fruits on there. I think there's about 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I can see 6. There's one tucked around the corner, which you may not be able to see. But you can also see that there's still plenty of flowers at the top here. So, you know, if we do carry on having a good summer, I may well get even more fruits. Yeah. And obviously one of the tricky things, because it's self-germinated, is that I don't 100% know. Let me take this out. I don't 100% know what the variety is, but my best guess is that it is a sweet pointed pepper. And normally they're red, so I think these fruits are going to turn red. So I'm going to leave them on there for now. And it would make total sense if it was that type of pepper, because it's the one that I buy from the shops most often. So yeah, it just goes to show you that sometimes it's worth taking a risk. And, you know, obviously when I bought them indoors, I didn't think they were going to do anything. And then we had this summer and it's been incredibly productive. And on that note, what I've decided to do is I have decided to pot up a small pot. I'll show you here. And I'm going to try, oh, look at it, sorry. Are they already germinating? No. Okay, that's very strange. I've only just potted that up. I've actually decided to sow some more of these red pointed peppers, because I think it could be a really cool idea to grow them like that, to actually sow them late summer, bring them indoors over the winter when they're small plants, just put them on a windowsill, and then they can get going in the, you know, in the late spring. I don't have grow lights or anything like that in my house. I don't really have room for a whole setup, and therefore I've always struggled to germinate them in February, March when it's quite cool. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe the better solution is to try to germinate them, you know, in the summer when actually it's the right conditions, and then bring them indoors when they're small plants. So that's what I'm going to try, and we'll see how it goes. Now, next to this pepper, I have the other mystery pepper, and you can see it's getting very tall. It's taller than the compost bin already, but no flowers, no sign of any fruits. Now, my guess is that this would be a bell pepper. And yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get any fruits from this or not. If it's not flowering yet, given the conditions we've had, it may well not. But yeah, I'm going to keep going with it, and we'll just see what happens. Absolutely nothing to lose. Yeah, so one of the things I've really been focusing on in terms of the watering, because it can be hard to get around to everything, is keeping all of my young fruit bushes alive, particularly the ones that I planted this year, which maybe, you know, they're not that well established, their roots aren't deep. Just trying to keep them going. And you can see this honeyberry here has been really struggling despite my best efforts. There is some new growth on the top there, so I'm hopeful that it's not going to die on me. But yeah, just doesn't seem to be able to get enough moisture, and it's not looking very happy, but fingers crossed for that one. The other honeyberry that I put in down here is looking like it's suffering less from the drought, but something is eating it, probably slugs. So fingers crossed for the honeyberry. Now, one of the things I'm trying to do to keep the plants going in the garden is I'm covering around the base of the plant here, as you can see on my perennial kale. I've got cardboard, there's also some green material here. I'm just basically using whatever I've got to hand to cover the soil, because that will then help to reduce the amount of evaporation that goes on and help with the moisture retention. Of course, chop and drop is also great for giving the plant extra nutrients, so it's all good. I have also removed some of the larger leaves from my kale. They are looking incredibly sad because they had this dreadful aphid attack. Aphids have been the really big problem this year, not caterpillars. Well, touch wood anyway. They could still come and be a massive problem. But yeah, actually now the aphids have gone, so I think they will be fine long term. It just doesn't look that attractive to look at these leaves. And obviously I can't really eat them. But yeah, I think they will be fine long term. And I've now got some neem oil, so should the aphids come back, I've got something that I can actually, you know, try to get rid of them with. But I've never had problems with aphids before, so it kind of caught me unawares. But I am armed now. Aphids beware. Now, one of the things I noticed in my garden, which made me incredibly excited, was this. My dwarf French bean plants are, yeah, not quite ready yet, I think. I think it might get a bit bigger than this, but yeah, they're coming. And I'm really excited to try these because you can buy French beans in the shops, as I'm sure you all know, but they usually come from places like Kenya and, you know, very far-flung places, and a lot of food miles. And I wonder, you know, if these are going to be a lot tastier than them, because you would think so, right? But yeah, that's just one of my plants. I've got another one under the tromboncino. It's gone crazy, absolutely crazy, this section of the garden. I'll just see if I can get around and show you. There we are. Hidden, absolutely hidden. It's not ideal how this tromboncino's grown, but yeah, never mind. Anyway, it looks like I am going to get quite a few French beans there. And I've got a few other plants. They're not the only ones. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying them. Here we are. This is a baby tromboncino. Yeah, it will get a little bit bigger than this, but just to give you an idea of what they are going to look like. Now, I do want to talk about this flower here, which is doing incredibly well in the drought. I didn't plant it, it's self-seeded, and I think it might be a bit of a spreader, this plant. But nevertheless, look, it's absolutely loved by the bees. The flowers are beautiful, absolutely beautiful colour, sort of a pinky purpley. And yeah, it's very welcome in my garden. Very pretty. Yeah, so here we are then, looking at the fence, and you can see the kiwi berry down there. But before we get to that, maybe I'll just do a close-up of some of these beautiful flowers on the passion flower here. Isn't that stunning? That's coming over from my neighbour. Thank you, neighbour. Looking beautiful, aren't they? Absolutely stunning colours. And yeah, there are the fruits up there actually. But I'm pretty sure they're ornamental, so I won't be eating them. I won't be eating them. But yeah, if I come down then, yeah, so this is what it looks like now. And as you can see, although it's been really dry, it hasn't stopped it growing. It has almost reached the trellis. Look at that. There's on this one here. Look how close that is. It's so close. I'm so excited about that. Yeah, and yeah, it has got a few signs of drought on it. But anyway, it hasn't stopped it growing, and the 3 berries are still there. So I'm going to try one today and see if it's ripe or not. I'm going to go for the largest one, which is this one, I think. Okay. There we go. Right, okay, so I'm going to be very quick with this taste test from the kiwi behind me there because my camera keeps dying on me. But yeah, I've picked one of the berries here. Now I've picked it, I'm not that convinced that it's ripe. It doesn't feel very soft, so this could be a very interesting taste test. But I've got 2 other berries to try, so I'll know to hang on to the other berries until they are ripe. So let's give it a go. Yeah, that's not ripe at all. Gosh, what is that flavour? It's very hard, the texture, which tells me it's not ripe. There is a kiwi type flavour there, definitely. I can feel, yeah, there's definitely a kiwi flavour there, quite faint at the moment, but they're obviously not properly ripe yet. So I'll hold on to the other 2 kiwis for a few more weeks. But yeah, they obviously take a long time to ripen them because those berries have been on the plant for, I would say, a couple of months now, so, or at least a month and a half. So yeah, they obviously need a lot of sun to ripen, which I guess is, given how much sun and warmth we've had this summer, that makes me wonder how good they're going to be in more normal summers. But I guess we'll find out. Yeah. Anyway, it wasn't too sour. I didn't spit it out, so it could have been a lot worse. Yeah, so I'm going to go off now and I've got some watering to do. I need to go fill up some watering cans. I do hope that all of your plants are managing to survive in this dry spell. I know it's really challenging, but do remember to try and mulch around the plants, remove as many of the leaves as you can of like leafy greens, so you know you're reducing the amount of water that they need. And just hang in there because I'm sure the weather's going to change anytime soon. It can't stay like this forever. It just can't. And as always, I really do appreciate all of you that like to follow my garden and post such lovely, lovely comments. I really do love to receive those, so please do keep them coming in and let me know how your garden is doing in the heat. But yeah, until next time, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.